live of HSE Mindsets channels, the NEBOSH IGC easy learning and easy passing tips. So the NEBOSH is one of the valid occupational health and safety certificates worldwide recognized, and for safety officers it's required to pass NEBOSH for getting the good career opportunities in safety officer's job. So it's better to have a proper the knowledge, because the people most of the time they are not in a position to pass, but even though they are passing, but the information and the studies what they are getting is minimal. Because of the study and minimal learning, they are not able to perform very well in the ground level, especially for oil and gas, construction and various industries. This NEBOSH certificates, not only the certificate part but also the learning is important. So how you learned, how much you learned is important. When you are learning, then only you can improve the standards, because when you are keeping on learning the safety part, you have to do lot of homework, because the safety is a continual improvements. There are so many people, they are in the career, but if they are not in a position to update, it's very difficult to pursue. So the updation and also passing the NEBOSH exam is very critical, because the terms and the whatever scientific informations is there in NEBOSH is totally different from normal routine what we are using, because the normal life we are using in different scenarios. But NEBOSH, the words are highly English, technically English words, and the words are different from what we are using regularly, because the NEBOSH is not just a certificate, it's a learning. NEBOSH is a learning. When you are keeping on learning and passing the exam is very important to get good career opportunities. So when you have a good career opportunity, then only you can go for a safety manager, big positions like safety leader or safety head. So for that, we have started in our HSE Mindset channel the NEBOSH easy learning and passing tips. Today's is a part 1. So we have a lot of parts in this for NEBOSH IGC certifications like occupational health and safety certificates. So you just go through this NEBOSH easy passing tips and learning things. Definitely you can easily pass, you can easily learn, and also you can have a proper way of how to easily pass the NEBOSH and easily learn the NEBOSH courses, because just passing the NEBOSH is not a matter. There are open book examinations are there for NEBOSH, but when the people conducting the interview, they will ask a lot of questions from the NEBOSH itself. When you are not able to answer that questions, so it's a failure of career upliftment. So for good HSE career, you must have a proper knowledge of NEBOSH, and also the health and safety overall knowledge you must have. So that's why we have started this passing easily how we can learn the NEBOSH and how you can easily pass the things like NEBOSH applications. So first, you have to understand the examination pattern. That is very important. So IGC 1, IGC 2, IGC 1, International General Certificate. So open book examination. So theory and scenario based. Then IGC 2, practical risk assessments. Totally the practical risk assessments. So in this open book examination, even though it's open book examination, there are theories. It's all theories, more relevant answers only NEBOSH required. And also the scenario, the scenarios is a different kind of scenarios. Fire safety scenarios, electrical safety scenarios, hazard identification scenarios, safety inspection scenarios, so the construction safety scenarios. So there are lot of scenarios they will give. So how you are receiving, how you are writing the exam, that is important, because this type of open book exam, you must carefully read the questions. That is important. When you are hurry-burrying reading the 1 or 2 line and write the exam, will give minus marks or will not give anything for you. But when you are writing the questions and when you are reading the questions properly, first you have to understand what NEBOSH expects from you, what answers you have to give. So first, reading, learning, understanding the NEBOSH questions are very, very important, because when you know what they are asking and then really what they are expecting, there is a define, means you have to define. Give notes means notes. Elaborate means elaborate. You must distinguish these words. So that time only you can easily write the answers and get good marks. So first you have to know it, understand the examination pattern. So the first one is IGC 1, open book exam, sometimes theory plus scenario based. Then IGC 2, the practical risk assessments. This practical risk assessments is you have to go to the industry and do the risk assessments each and every part, because the risk assessments is totally is based on industrial. Then you have to identify the hazard. Then you have to do the proper way of risk assessments for that real scenario, for that real company, wherever you are going to do that risk assessments. So that is the practical applications. So here you have to focus on hazard identification and control measures. For risk assessments, you cannot simply find the hazards and the risk, but you have to find you have to tell the control measures. That's what NEBOSH expects. NEBOSH is always expects control measures. So when you are writing the exam, you have to you must have in your mind, you have to write the control measures properly. So when you write the control measures properly, then NEBOSH knows you have a proper understanding of risk assessments. Because without proper understanding of risk assessments, you cannot simply write the control measures. So that's why it's very important. So there are workplace examples also there. You have to give the lot of real workplace examples for this examination purpose. So whether you worked or you have to learn what are the real workplace examples. When you give each and everything for examples, that examples will give more marks. So don't forget to give the examples. for real examples. That's important. Then study one topic daily. Second part is a learning. So how you can easily so you have to study daily one topic. That is the important thing to pass the NEBOSH easily. So what are the topics? Monday you can learn fire safety. Then Tuesday you can learn risk assessments. Only focus on risk assessments. When you are focusing the fire safety, then you just go to the fire safety and take what all information you will get. Then you see all the possibilities of fire safety. Then risk assessments. Then Wednesday electrical safety. Then Tuesday chemical safety. Thursday chemical safety. Then Friday construction safety. So these are the daily routine you have to study it for NEBOSH. So whenever you are studying fire safety means you just go NEBOSH questions and answers. So when you have there are NEBOSH question and answers is available in the internet or NEBOSH website itself. So you just when you are studying the fire safety, you have to go to the NEBOSH question and answer. What are the questions are there? You just yourself give the answers. Tell the answers and see whether your answer and NEBOSH answer is coincides each other. The same thing for risk assessments. Same thing for you have a electrical safety, then chemical safety, then you have a construction safety. So then third part is use simple notes. That's what NEBOSH expects. NEBOSH always expects using the simple notes. When you are giving complicated information, NEBOSH won't like it. So that's why give the simple notes. For example, when they are asking definition means give only definition, not more information in that. And then key points means give some 4-5 points. That's it enough. Then when it's to the mnemonics means some mnemonics means you have to give some important words only. It means scientific words. Then you have a important information. Important notes means you have to give the important notes only. So it's all just 4 to 5 lines only, not more than that. So you cannot define means you cannot give the paragraph. And also when they are asking key points means you cannot give big elaborate answer. Use more scientific words, NEBOSH words, because in NEBOSH the terms are different. What we are using in regular day-to-day life is different. So always use the NEBOSH terms in the examinations. That is one of the way of success. So use simple notes. Then fourth one, learn through real-time examples. Always give the real-time examples. When you are studying the NEBOSH, always make the answers, or when you are studying the NEBOSH, then always compare the real-time examples. So something says like the working at height means you just imagine yourself what will be the real-time example. For example, in your construction industry or oil and gas industry, so how people fall means what is the control measures, what is PPE using. So these real-time examples you have to think it and write it. So what happened then what will be the how it can be controlled, what will be the remedial action. So what is hazard? When you are learning, you yourself you must ask what will be the hazard, then what will be the who affected, and then what will be the problem, how to control. So these are all the questions you have to ask. 5 W questions: why, what, when, where, how. These 5 questions you have to ask for any questions. So that is the real time. Always learn through the real life examples. The real life examples. So when you have oil spillage, what you will do? So real time examples. Oil spillage means so immediately scrap the oil spills. It should not be, it should not be goes inside the soil. So immediately put the some sawdust or oil spillage kit. So you can use the oil spillage kit and remove the oil and then make the place clean and do the remedial action. So and also when you are taking the oil waste, you have to handle based on the rules and regulations. So these are the real-time examples. You must know it for NEBOSH. So the overall, the NEBOSH learning is always a very, very important to know the terms of NEBOSH. What are the terms NEBOSH says? And also the giving answers with real-time examples. What are the important things are going in your industry, that also you can give the examples for that questions. So you have to understand the question, writing the answers in a small words. You have to concentrate only technical words, and also what NEBOSH says, that is important. So when you are giving the proper answers, when you are giving the exact NEBOSH term words, that words only give the more marks. Because when you are not giving the proper answers like a paragraphs or stories, when you are keeping on giving the stories for questions, means nobody in NEBOSH cares. Because NEBOSH don't want any stories. Even though you are writing something, but NEBOSH does not care anything. They want concrete key points, only the term related to that question. Define means only define. Give the key points means key points. So when it comes to the risk assessments also, they are expecting hazard, risk, then control measures. So each and every question, same thing they are expecting. So when you are giving more real examples, in for example your construction industry real examples, oil and gas industries real examples, or construction manufacturing industries real examples, that real examples will yield more marks for you. So that is important. So when you are keeping on writing the exam is not a matter, but how your answer is skillfully written, that is important. The skills are the more thing the NEBOSH expects. So when you are started to studying itself, concentrate on different topics and different questions, and it's a technical terms. Fire safety means, so you have to see in case of fire safety what you will do, what will be the real-time example, what are the control measures you have, these things you have to see. Electrical safety means the same. Then when you have a chemical safety means the same. So you have to give the more examples and also more practical applications. NEBOSH expects more practical application. When you are giving the more practical application, then only they can easily give the marks. When you are not giving the practical application examples, then they will not give the marks. So NEBOSH always expects you have to do homeworks. So when you are learning the NEBOSH itself, study to 3, 4, 5 times until you understand. That is important. When you are keeping on studying, it's not matter. But when you are studying, you have to understand with comparison. So something there in the NEBOSH, then you compare with your workplace. So both of them must coincide. So, when you are keeping on studying, that time you have to learn. What you have to learn? For studying, you have to make a picture. So, okay, in your workplace, what you are going to do through this fire safety, through this electrical safety, through this risk assessments, these you have to compare. So when you are comparing this one, you can easily understand the subject and you can easily write the exam. So that's what NEBOSH expects. They are not telling you to just make mug up like or make a memory and make everything, mug up. We can say it a mug up or making memory and write it as it is. It's not like that. You have to see that one and then compare the real-time examples and write the exam. That's what NEBOSH expects. So NEBOSH technical terms. This is the first priority. NEBOSH is always a technical terms. What NEBOSH says about the hazard. What NEBOSH says about the risk. Then what NEBOSH says the fire safety. Then what NEBOSH says the risk assessments. What NEBOSH says the control measures. So these things you must know it in terms of NEBOSH. So that's what expecting. And also for these hazards, you have to have the examples, the real-time examples. So this having the examples, real-time example, the same thing. So in your company or in your organization, so what you are going to do, what you are doing with this hazard, how you are finding the hazard, then safety, risk, the same examples. Then fire safety. So in your industry, what you are doing, the risk assessments, how you are conducting in your job. Then control measures. What kind of controls you are putting for in your job. So these things are very must for each and every person those are studying the NEBOSH. So the NEBOSH expects the more examples, more remedies, more control measures. So it's not just asking you to mug up and give the answers. Examiners always see how you understood the overall NEBOSH course. That is important. Whether you understood or not. They will check only first 2-3 points itself. They will see you understand means there are technical terms you have properly used. When you are not used proper technical words, then it's just a story. The story will not yield any marks in NEBOSH. It's asking proper this kind of answers. That kind of answers you have to give. That is must. So the NEBOSH easy passing tips and learning. Easy learning and passing tips. So today we have started the fourth one. So learn through real life examples. Learn through real time examples. 4 things we have seen. So in next part 2. Today we have seen part 1. This one part 1. Then next Friday part 2, 3 p.m. live. So don't forget to stay on next week Friday 3 p.m. for part 2 NEBOSH easy learning and passing tips. I hope you understand the NEBOSH first part about the tips of passing and learning. So we will see in part 2. Still you didn't subscribe it, share it, like it. HSEMINDSETmm channel. There are a lot of training videos are available in playlist and also video sessions. Go through it and get it more informations. Definitely it will enhance your career in a safety field, and you can improve lot of your career side and your technical side, your knowledge side in HSE field. So please visit and go through the things. Still you didn't subscribe it. So thank you for watching. We will see some other live sessions. Thank you very much.